Hello, this is Team Techie Tribe for CS458. We are developing an air traffic control VR game. It is being developed by Yanyu, Bree, and myself. I will be representing our group for this demo. Our progress report goals were changed from our initial goals to not include plane physics or helicopters due to the complexities of their flight models. For our current MVP, we achieve all but two of our goals set, which are taking off from the runway as well as fuel consumption. We would like to add them as well as plane animations or improved smooth plane animations in future iterations. We've also had time to improve the landing, or as we call it, goalkeeper, which now forces players to orient the plane correctly with the runway. They cannot land backwards or vertically or from the other side of the runway. Doing so will not count as a point and possibly even cause a crash of the plane, not the game. Difficulty permitting, we would like to add fuel consumption and runway management before the end of this semester. Considerations that we need to make include how large the runway should be, whether or not it should be 2 runways or 1. If you do 1, it would increase the difficulty of managing a plane that lands and a plane that needs to take off. Our assets has grown by 2. We are now using a musical track as well as game sound effects for the scoring and explosions, etc. Features that are still missing includes the airplane sounds that we intend to add in the future, which are when you get near the plane you should hear humming, engine humming, jet noises or something, and simply we can't find free looping exterior sounds of a jet engine. The majority of sound effects are either inside or meant for propeller planes or military jets. Furthermore, our plane crash physics could improve, have more weight to them, and feel less bouncy. Sometimes when a plane lands and crashes, they stay longer than expected before destroying, and we are working to fix that. So now I will briefly show off our game through this demo. It is 4 minutes long, so I will skip through some parts. When you hear a bloop, that is when a plane has spawned. You should hear it in the direction of where it is being spawned. When you hover over a plane, it gets highlighted, and you can then begin drawing its path. Here I've drawn it correctly how it should land. I'm going to continue to play with planes while the other proceeds to land correctly. These planes are about to collide. This is what happens when planes crash. They emit particles of an explosion and it change to a more disfigured model. You should hear now, when the plane enters the goal, that is the notification that you have scored and correctly landed your plane. Landing on the ground, face first, will destroy the plane. Landing on the runway, face first, will destroy the plane. You can't see it very well, but you can certainly hear it. So you'll see that my score is very poor and I'm doing a very bad job. This is mainly due for testing. In a normal game, we would reduce the amount of planes being spawned. However, for showcase purposes, it's easier for us to spawn as many as possible. So you'll see that this plane is being landed backwards through the target, and it is not being considered for the scoreboard. This is to do with the order of colliders that you must pass through in order to be considered correctly oriented for landing. Turning the plane around and doing it will provide greater results. If 2 planes try to land at the same time, they can still destroy each other. That concludes the majority of our demo. One last explosion before we go. can see the rest of the demo through my YouTube link provided at the end of this report. So problems and bugs, as said, planes need to move more smoothly, they are jagged. We could also improve the line renderer that we're using, which also produces jagged lines. So the animation that the plane uses to move between waypoint to waypoint should be less sharp. There's also plane jiggle when drawing these lines, and that is mainly due to the when you add a point to the line renderer, the line follower script believes that it is still on the same point when actually everything has been kind of pushed back, right? So if you're on point 3 and you add another node at the end of the array, the plane will go, oh, I actually have to go backwards first before continuing. So that's something we need to work out and fix. Sometimes when a plane explodes on the ground, it sits for a bit longer than expected. This really doesn't affect the gameplay otherwise, except for presenting itself as a greater hazard. Also, on Windows machines, the water is, for some reason, a darker blue, which doesn't look as nice when compared to the backdrop skybox that we're using. So that concludes our presentation and demo for this project. If you would like to play with the build yourself, you may visit our GitHub, where we have builds for Windows and Android. If you would like to see the full demo video, the link is also provided. Thank you for watching.